Okay, I guess we can start. This is Studio Photography Insights. I think it's 8th series or something close to this. And today we had the assignment was watch, right? Advertisement type of shot, product shot of the watch. And we got so many submissions. The guys were submitting like 1 hour ago was the last one.
I think there are 4 in the last hour or so.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Well,
yeah. I got like 4 emails, so.
Wow.
Oh, I see, because you subscribed. So I guess we'll start going through them. If for any reason we couldn't do all of them, we just will kind of continue. We'll give some feedback on the forum anyway. So don't worry if time will run out faster. But if you do it faster, you should be fine. And like I said, maybe, okay, here he is. Hey, Bill. Bill Cahill with us, looks like.
Well, I see him there.
Yeah, I see the image. And I don't hear him, so Bill, I guess you need to check your microphone because we don't see you and we don't hear you. Okay, so he'll.
And there goes Bill.
Yeah. Okay, so let me share. Yeah, he'll probably will jump back and forth a little bit. I'll share my screen with the watches, and we'll start from there. Actually, this one is just this not now. Yeah, right. Sweeney South. Sorry, guys. I'm going with what? Oh, okay. Okay. So we'll be quick. It's nice lighting. I can't tell anything kind of bad about it. Maybe a little bit more on the bezel. I mean, maybe like a contrast. And it's probably the post-production task. What I would do, I would probably, for the bezel, I play with a little bit with levels and curves, just to make it more contrast, you know? So it will really pop up. And the upper portion is looks like a little bit darker, because I really like the bracelet, how it's on the bottom, and it's not that nice on the top, so it's probably the lighting thing. Just, I see like a plain shot, like product shot, but again, lighting is fine, so I couldn't tell much about improvements for this particular shot. Good. Dave, do you have any other?
Yeah, the only thing I'd add is I like the background. There needs to be some highlights in this thing. It's just too flat. There has to be something to sort of pop it. And the only way to make it pop is just the full dynamic range. So, you know, in shots like this, you don't always think highlights, but you really need them. They just can't be overpowering. I think the background to the image, the watch itself is great. I would have loved to have seen it without the watch holder. I think finding a way to suspend it would really make it work, but. Like I said, I like the contrast from the foreground to the background. I think the diamond plate was a great idea. But you just have to bring out that contrast to make it sort of stick out.
Okay.
Okay, let's go to Achilles Leon. By the way, guys, it will be much easier for me if you name your image with, at least it should have your name somehow, because when we're saving them for the show, we're naming each image to match the person's name, the photographer's name, so it will be a little bit easier for me. So I like the concept, I like the background, and here I think lighting is really good. Little bit, well, it's not same from the top on I'm talking about bracelet and top and the bottom, but again, I don't think it's any problem. And there is little post-production task to fix that thing which
Yeah,
how you
the
call
crown.
it? It's the watch is stopped now, right? Crown, yeah, crown is popped up. So I remember my shot pretty long time ago. I did the same thing. We just forgot to fix it. So, but yeah, Dave, what do you think? I think it's very good shot.
Oh, I love the watch itself. I think the face is really cool with all that texture in there. You know, if anything, towards the 3 o'clock side, I might lighten it up a little bit because it looks a little dark. And also on the left side of the image, with I forget. Hey, Terry, could you mute yourself? Because all your sound's coming through and you're popping through. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. On the left of the image, here, let me get it back up here. I would burn that a bit because the highlights are just a little strong and grabbing attention. But really cool image. I dig the watch in this a lot. And like Alex said, the crown's got to be pulled back in, but that's about it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good shot. Good. Muhammad Ali. I think the idea was good. I remember how he shot with kind of like a cone all around, but it's too bright. Plus, we see the back portion of the watch, of the bracelet, which is not nice. So composition should be changed. Plus, I'm not sure about that stuff on the bottom, how it plays. It's kind of soap or some cream. I don't know. So probably I would just put standing, to vertically the watch and shoot them. So good start, I guess. Just need more work on this. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, I remember when I first started shooting stuff like this and how hard it was. Trying to get the detail into a picture, the feeling into a picture, everything. I'm not really feeling this one at all, but I wasn't feeling anything I shot for the first 3 or 4 years that I shot either. So, the watch is sort of lost. The depth of field is sort of wonky. I don't know. There's great colors in there. There's that pink and sort of going into brown. It just needs to be a little bit more defined because, I'm not seeing this watch as something I want to buy. It's just not there. So, but keep trying, man. If this is early in your studio career, just keep trying. There are some great examples here tonight of wonderful studio photography. Some stuff I've even looked at and said, damn, I wish I had shot that. So just keep going. Don't take failure as a bad thing. Take it as something that you're just going to look at it and go, oh, I'm going to kick all your asses next week.
Yeah.
So,
well said. Thank you. Yeah, it's not even failure. It just, we all learn here. So you just a little bit more learning here than maybe on other shots.
Yeah, I was telling Alex earlier, in these 6, 7, 8 weeks we've been doing this now, I have learned so much. I'm an artist who happens to use a camera. I've learned a ton from Alex. I've learned a bunch from Ron. Ron and a bunch of you have given me the inspiration to, I'll show you later when my picture comes up. I did something sort of crazy, but you have all taught me to think I think outside the box with ideas, but with lighting, I don't know if I ever really have until this all started happening. So I hope you'll be impressed with what I came up with later.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, I was trying to reach Bill just to see if he got it or not, but.
Yeah, what's going on with him, Alex?
Well, I don't know. I think he won't be able to join us anyway, but I'm trying to ask him through Google Talk if he got fixed with, his mic and camera. So when I will hear from him, I'll let you know, guys. But
okay.
For now, let's go with this shot from C. Rodinius, if I'm correct here. Well, It's nice, but top version, I mean top portion of the watch is a little bit darker. We all see it, right? And it should be some light there. But overall, I like how it's been lit. Maybe a little bit more gradients from like bright area to darker area, especially I would like to see that thing around the watch body. So somewhere just the gradient is what gives us the volume, right? And more we go to the edge, to the like where the body is ends, it should be some kind of dark areas a little bit just to show us. But yeah, I like it. Except this top portion, it's pretty well. Dave?
Yeah. My problem with this picture is the outsides grab your attention, and that's never what you want in a shot like this. There needs to be some middle fill in there. The blues need to be taken out of the whites in the face. You know how it's got like that blue cast to it? Those things need to be about as white as they can. You know, some gradient tone to them, but something that makes it stick out. You know, my eye immediately goes to the 3 o'clock and the 9 o'clock position on the bezel, which should really be on the face. So if you're staring at the face, the bezel is going to come to you. But, you know, I like the angle. I think it fills the frame nice. I think it allows for text to go around it and everything else it would need in an ad shot. But I would neutral out those blues in the 1, 2, 3, 4, the time face in there to just sort of make it pop a little bit more and bring your attention into the center, along with just some light in the center of it. So that's my thoughts.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. Well said. Okay, this is no, right?
It's mine, yeah.
How you pronounce your first name? I'm sorry, no. How?
Noah.
Noah.
No.
You got it right.
I know. Okay, I almost got it right. When I'm not confident, I always like feel strange when. Yeah, I love this shot. First, you know, I look at them and see, oh, you know, maybe there is a little bit more contrast on the bezel, but then the whole atmosphere, you know, it's kind of soft. It's nothing is really popping, like no really bright areas, no really dark, except actually, especially background. So I very like how watch was lit. It's great. The background, well, it works like this perfectly, but maybe if there is an option to have some very blurred, you know, some kind of like shadows, spots, and some little brighter. But again, I think it works like very well like this. So I think. You
mean like shooting a spotlight on the back? Because I had just a black background about 4 or 5 feet behind it.
Yeah, you know, it's just like a thought. I think it's very good like this. But you may play just. It may be digital background because it's very easy to get it right here, right? Because or it may be. Yeah. So maybe something there, very soft.
Okay.
Okay. Dave, your take?
Yeah, I love the shot. I love the lighting in this. This is brilliant. The one huge problem I have with this is everything is tucked into a corner. You've got the band tucked into the left corner, left right, or left lower corner, and then the band tucked into the right upper corner. If you're working in a full page black ad, this will work. But the golden rule of photography is never tuck an edge into a corner. It splits the frame. It absolutely makes you look at a left frame and a right frame when you do something like that. A little bit more of an angle, even a little bit, that would move that bottom left up a bit and the top right down a bit, will allow the frame to be seen as a full frame, as opposed to cutting the thing in half. The lighting on this is brilliant. Don't get me wrong, Noah. I mean, this is, I'm being probably hypercritical here. But I took a picture a long time ago that had stuff tucked into a corner, And some people I really respected, I mean, you know, world famous kind of guys looked at me and said, you can't do that. It's got to be a little bit more split up than that, because when you tuck into a corner, you split the frame, and nobody wants that. So the face on this thing is off the hook. It's just wonderful. I love the light on the left bezel and then the light coming up from the right bezel. That's just brilliant. It really is. The only thing I would suggest is a little bit different angle in the frame, and that's it, man. I mean, this is a killer shot.
I mean, take the whole thing and like rotate the whole
well,
watch.
If you took the watch and just went like this and then moved it a little bit like that.
Okay.
So the
to rotate it, what? Rotate it like clockwise?
Clockwise. Maybe
okay.
It would be minimal. I mean, just a few degrees to keep those watch bands from being directly in the corners. It doesn't take much. It would only take, you know, if you look at this thing in like links, you know, every line of that link. If you were just a couple of links over on either side, the continuation of the frame would just be absolutely wonderful.
I see. Okay.
But your lighting in this is just off the hook, man. I don't know if I could do that, to be honest with you.
Guys, I'm sorry I'm interrupting. We have Bill Cahill. He's trying to get in. Looks like he's ready for this. But we 10 people are here, so we need a volunteer somehow. If it's possible, guys. Oops.
Oh, tell him to come in.
Harry's gone.
So Dave, yeah, this was what I envisioned this shot to be, and I wanted that gradient of the light. And I tell you, I shot over 50 shots on this thing with different lighting sources until the way I came up with it with the foam core, just reflecting it back on. But I kept getting this kind of, what do you call it, hourglass-looking reflection in the middle of it constantly, and I was pulling my hair out, what little I have left, to get it looking like this.
You know, the one thing, another thing I might do in this, I might take the hour markers and then the date marker and maybe the hands and the second thing, and just lighten them a bit, just to make them pop out a little bit in it. Because you know, once again, being hypercritical. But when I look at this, I'm seeing and I look at it from a photographer's view. So I see these wonderful highlights around the watch. Whereas a photographer, I think that's cool as shit. But when I'm looking at it from maybe a consumer point of view, maybe the hands and the hour markers need to stick out just a little bit more. Maybe mask them and just lower the tonality or raise the tonality, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more contrast.
Exactly.
It should be 10-10 right now. You know how it is now.
Yeah, that was my other.
It's not about the lighting and so. Okay, we have Bill joining us. Bill, can you hear us? Can you talk? Because we don't hear you. Okay.
And Bill is gone.
Okay, we need to.
So real quick, what is it with the 10-10? What is that?
Sorry, it's well, it's not even 10-10. It should be I think 10-12. So 10 hours, 12 minutes. That kind of agreement. I'm not sure. I remember some guy said, you know, it's kind of agreement among manufacturers or on photographers. I don't know. Not sure, but almost every watch shot, advertisement or product has 10-12 time or 10-10.
Yeah.
Well, Timex,
I've noticed that in the last 4 hours.
10:09 and 36 seconds for every watch that they do.
Oh, even 36 seconds. Oh, it's something new. But you know what's good? I never liked that kind of thing when I have to do, because I start looking, I start seeing watches in very good advertisement. It was a magazine, some kind of expensive magazine about very expensive watches, and not all of them were 10-10. Some of them had different time, which is cool. So you can do it. If client is fine.
They claim it makes the watch look like it's smiling.
Well, I think 10-10 is used just for symmetry reasons. You know, there's perfect V going on.
Right.
So, you know, most watch shots you see have that 10-10 thing going on.
Yeah.
But the problem is, like with my shot, you know, the 10 after sort of hides the corporate signature, which is sort of silly. You know, why not? Somebody mentioned to me in a comment, why not like 820 to sort of give the reverse V? And I didn't even think of that, and I probably should have, because it would have shown the IWC a little bit more. So.
Right.
I went to images on Google and just did an image search first and just said watches. I wanted to see what other people had done. And the first thing that stuck out at me was 80% of them were 10-10, or a few of them were 10 minutes after 10 or 10 minutes to 2. Mm-hmm. So the two hands were reversed, but that's what I saw. And then a whole bunch of them had the second hand almost bisecting the two. And usually down to the left, but not always.
Yeah.
But the 10-10, I looked at that and said, this must be some kind of a thing everybody does, so I guess I'll do about the same thing.
Yeah, I think it's just symmetry and how easy our eyes will see it. You know, what flows correctly. I don't know.
The Timex claims on their website that, or on the Wikipedia, that it makes a watch look like it's smiling.
Yeah,
that's interesting. You know, and it's
every Timex watch is set for 10:09 and 36 seconds at the factory before it's shipped for that reason.
You know, I don't know. If a watch looks cool, I don't care what time it's set to. I mean, it just doesn't. And I'm a watch junkie. The IWC that I shot is my baby. That's my favorite watch. But I've got, I don't know, tons of them. So I wouldn't care what that thing was set to. It's the sexiest damn thing I've ever seen. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. I'm a watch junkie. Okay, I admit it.
I thought it was a syringe junkie.
And by the way, so Bill couldn't get in if he wanted to.
Yeah, Bill said that his wireless isn't up to that stuff for now. So.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah. Next time, well, his with us will be anyway at some point. So we just need to do some test hangout with him to make sure everything is prior.
Yeah, maybe in a few days you and I can do that, Alex.
Right, yeah, we can talk, yeah. Okay, let's go to the next one. Kruzanek. Well, it's a kind of nice try. Like I said, I've seen how it was done with only one light source, which pretty good result, I would say, for one light source. Some noise? No? Okay, be good. I think Roberto. No, you're good. Okay, you're good. Okay, so I was looking.
Okay.
Well, yeah. Sorry, I was trying to mute. Trying to find out who's. I think it's Roberto. I think you have some noise coming. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
That's better.
So what I was talking. One light source. Pretty good result, except the background is blown out. It's too bright, and you see it start eating watch all around, which may be kind of we can consider as a concept, but as for the advertisement or product shot, it's not gonna work well. Same thing from the left side. Looks like the reflector didn't get all the reflection on the bezel and watch face. So I would probably say it's good try, good start, but probably one more light source to have more freedom of how to manipulate with lights, and job will be done much better. But again, great shot considering to one light. So Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, the thing to always remember is when you've got one light source, and God knows I shot with one light source for a long time, focus on what's important in the shot. The important part of this shot isn't the bracelet. It's sort of an after effect. The important part is the face. So if you've only got one light source, try going with a dark background instead of trying to blow it out. And focus that light on the face to bring it out. And let any ancillary light that goes to the bracelet, let it go there. I would rather see this with a dark background and a dark bracelet and a well-lit face than what we have here. So Once again, if you're just starting out in this stuff, God bless, man. This is great stuff. It's just a matter of learning what's important in the shot and what sort of feeling you want to bring through it.
Yep. Alrighty, the next one. I think it's kind of similar situation because, well, maybe not. Paul with us? No? No. Well, here, from technical standpoint, let's say, it's too bright, the watch face is too bright, especially considering completely dark background. I would limit a little bit. Those sparkles, stars, you know, it looks cool, but considering how it kind of brings attention to that how face or what's around watch bezel. Anyway, it brings attention to that, and it's very worn. I see all those wrinkles, I mean those scratches. It should be fixed because it's too much. But again, it's post-production. It has nothing to do with lighting itself. So that's probably it. Just too bright, and maybe do a little bit different angle. So good start. Dave.
Yeah, I sort of think that bounce lighting would work better, and I always do with one flash. Yeah. If that's what you're limited to, that's cool. Like I said, you know, I've worked that way. But this was direct lighting. You can tell by those starbursts on the, you know, on the 2 o'clock side and the 8 o'clock side. If you would have just had a piece of white paper and blasted the flash off of it, the tonality might have been a little bit smoother and would have helped the shot a lot. You know, I'd like to fully subscribe to the thought that you can do anything in the studio with 1 or 2 flashes, but, you know, when you get into this type of commercial work, it's really hard. But when you get into my area of the game, sort of the artistic, gonna hang in a gallery kind of side, 1 flash can work, but it's not going to be the kind of thing that you want to hang in a magazine. It's got to be a moody kind of thing. So it all depends on what you want. You know, where do you want your picture to be? You know, so sort of work with it. If you really want to do commercial work, you're going to need, I hate to say it, but you're going to need more than 1 light most of the time. So just sort of play with it. Find out what's the best way to go for you and how you want to go with it.
Thank you, Dave. Well said, well said. Dave Collins. Well, the watch looks like it's chrome. It's completely reflective chrome watch, right? Anthony, I think it's some noise coming from you. Yeah.
Sorry.
Here it's visible that it's highly reflective, but for such subjects we should have much bigger reflector, and we should have much more bright areas, meaning that it's cool to show that when it's like completely reflective, glossy, and like a nickel or chrome-like finish, we may show some dark areas just to kind of emphasize that it's highly reflective. But here it's too dark. It's a little bit too dark for me, and all of those details, I don't see the watch. It's kind of losing because, well, not even looking at reflection for now. I'm just looking at watch. So I would use some kind of cone for this and have some lights, few spots on that cone, and they should create very interesting kind of gradients and interesting reflection from darker area to brighter for this. As for the reflection, I think it should be photoshopped out, blurred out, or maybe just less, you know. Yeah, ideally I would make it look as it was a matte, not just a glass, as something matte, and a little bit maybe visible reflection, but not that much. well, this is, and obviously the angle, well, angle, I don't like angle for some reason. It should be maybe less of that reflection. I would crop it probably so it will be just the half of the reflection on the bottom. So, sounds like this. Dave?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I like the face. I think the face is sort of cool. I really like the bezel. The bezel's got all these weird, interesting tonalities running through it that give it real depth. Don't like the band, and I agree totally with the reflection. If it's possible, it's too much of a reflection. It definitely needs to be blurred and to take away from the image. But I think the face of the watch, if you would take the 10, 2, 4, 6, 8 and maybe even them up in tonality. But the bezel is what really catches me in this because there's just these great curved reflections going off it. But yeah, it definitely needs some work, but it's a great starting point. So good job.
Yep. Okay, let's go to next one. Looks like a little bit similar. Yeah, I like it. I like it. And you know, it's like, oh, now I can start hitting it because it looked different than I did. But yeah, it's very good shot. But if you remember that shot I did, it was focus stacking. So the one thing I would fix, because that little crown, it kind of pop-ups because of just the color. But you see, it's blurred, which kind of it should be in the focus. So probably would run focus stacking, just few shots, maybe 3 of them. So everything will be in the focus for that watch position. Regarding the lighting, I really like the bottom part of the watch and the body and the bracelet. It looks just great. Shadows, all the smooth tonalities, great. The upper portion, especially the bracelet, you see it's a little bit off. Because it was bent a little bit differently, it didn't catch that light, or maybe reflector was different. So ideally, what can possibly be done, for example, you can, in Photoshop, you can get the bottom part of the bracelet and put it on top. And even that piece where bracelet connects to the body, you can do the same with it. And it may do the trick without even reshooting it. And for the face of the watch, I think well, I don't know how to fix it, but probably some little bit more light, or maybe a little bit more contrast somehow, or maybe it's an angle to...
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, now I see it exactly. Yeah,
Needs to
I
be
don't see the brand. It's hard. Yeah.
Just a little.
Yeah, it's hard to see that it was Seiko, right? Because it's a little bit too much. But overall, pretty good shot, Dave. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rotate it a little bit to get the Seiko name a little bit more in the face. Try to get those beautiful warm tones in the bottom up to the top. Also, this image is screaming for noise reduction. The blue tones in the top, which are wonderful but sort of mottled. They need some selective noise reduction to sort of smooth them out a little bit. And of course, the depth of field needs to be increased. That crown has to be sharp. It just has to be. But from about the middle of the picture down, I love it. I love the blue in the face with the gold tones at the bottom. I love the blue in the face. That wonderful little diagonal that you're getting of that blue highlight going through it is great. If you could match the top of the watch to the bottom of the watch, this would just be a killer shot. It really would.
Yep.
Alex, I have a question.
Sure.
Actually, it's about the last shot, if that's okay.
Sure.
Oh, you mean?
Yeah. No.
One?
The other one with the reflections. I'm seeing maybe is it a double or a triple reflection on there or something like that. And obviously that's because he shot it on a glass plate. Now, we were talking last week about glass that was painted black in the back, or you know, something of that nature. Would that get rid of the double reflection?
I think no. It would, because glass, like top surface will give a reflection and the bottom one will give you reflection. So it's only plexiglass piece
now,
of.
when it comes to mirrors, you need front reflective mirrors. You know, like you always see on Law and Order and all those with the one-way glass. Well, think of a mirror as a thick thing like this, right?
Exactly.
Right.
Most mirrors have the backing down here.
Right.
Which
Right.
allows the
Reflective.
light to come in at an angle and bounce out at an angle,
Yeah.
so you get two different pictures. You can get front reflective glass. It's sort of expensive. Yeah, and the reflective part is right here. It's just like one-way glass in an interrogation room in a police station. The reflective part is right here, and the backing doesn't matter. So.
It's almost like a foil, right? It's almost like a foil.
Yeah,
glass
pretty much.
Actually, where you can find it, they use it a couple places. They use it in telescope mirrors
Right.
because they can't afford the double reflection.
Right.
And they use it in those kaleidoscopes, you know, you hold up and you rotate. They use
Right,
where they
sure.
put the triangular mirrors in there. They use front reflectors. Otherwise, you would never be able to focus the kaleidoscope because
And
it would keep
also-
reflecting back.
And also remember, water is the greatest reflector known to man. If you've got a totally still, thin layer of water, you are going to get a perfect reflection all the time. There won't be a double or a triple. It'll be a single, and it's really beautiful.
Good thought. That's all. Thanks.
Yeah. Or black. If it's like picture like this, you can use just black plexiglass.
Yeah,
No double
absolutely.
reflection. If it's just a glossy, it will work the best. So it's even better than just like foil. So.
Cool. Thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Let's jump to this one. Digital Finder. Oh, who's this? I forgot the name. Anyway.
Yeah, it doesn't have his name on the forum.
Yeah, it's in the, but I need to go to profile or look. You know, it's like.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah. So let's call him Digital Finder. So very good job on the watch and the composition. I like the background. The gemstones, all this, whatever it is, it's too dark. The biggest, well, the whole watch needs a little bit more light, but especially when you should, basically it's almost like a jewelry shot, and all those gems, they should be bright and, you know, all gives you all those sparkles all around. It's not an easy task, and again, cone may work here very well. If you put a lot of light on the upper portion of the cone where lens is connected, that might give you all those highlights for the those bright little guys. Probably Ron can tell you a little bit more about how light does.
To get gemstones to pop, you have to put light straight into the center of them. And the problem with that is the camera is sitting there.
Right.
So the best thing I've ever found for it is to get a large white reflector, cut a hole in it, put your lens through the hole, and then put one light behind the jewelry facing your lens, and reflect the light off the white card directly into the gemstone.
Oh.
And that will give you about the best you can do. What you actually can do if you want to center it a little more is you can actually use a white cone around the front with just a very slight bit of bending toward the gemstone so that you're actually focusing the light even more straight into the stone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like
that's how you get the light back in them.
So are you looking for like a 45-degree angle or something, Ron?
No, 45 won't do it. I'll see if I'll look for a minute. I have I'm doing a write-up for my next talk that I'm going to be doing up in Georgia, and I just did some photographs that are going to be used as demonstrations. Yeah, that's even too much. That's too much angle actually for most. It might work because it's as big as it is.
It's not for jewelry, but I mean it's not for that kind of. But this I made it huge just to fit all my needs, and it's do-it-yourself cone.
Nice.
Ron, do you think a ring flash would work?
It depends. Ring flashes work. I also use a ring LED. It's for a microscope. And it's got about 60 LEDs around the outside with a hole in the middle, and then you can control the light intensity. And you shoot through it, and you move it down near the gemstone, and then one of the things you don't do is you don't hold it still. You keep it in motion. You wiggle it Otherwise, you'll burn in certain facets and other facets will not burn in. But by wiggling it, you average the light over the whole thing.
That's really neat. Yeah, that works.
It's a kind of privilege in working not with strobes but with continuous light, so you can kind of substitute.
This is the. I'm looking for another example, but I can share this one right now. This is the LED. Can you see that?
Oh, okay. It almost looks
Yeah,
like
I got it.
That's from a microscope there, right?
Exactly. That's what it was purchased from originally. And it turned out it was too bright for the microscope. I had a bad time with it because it was putting out too much light when I tried to use it with a microscope.
Wow.
I'm looking, but I still can't find. Somewhere I have. No. Well, here's one more picture that is the. I got to see how. Oops, I got to unshare, then I got to share again. This is me looking through the camera, and I'm wiggling the. I'm wiggling the thing up and down as I'm shooting the picture.
Ron, I love you. I really do, man.
And here it is. Here's the one I'm looking for. Now let me get this one off.
I like the arrows, too.
Yeah, I'm showing people where the light is. When I teach this class, I have to tell people why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Here's the typical one that I use most of the time.
Yep, exactly.
Oh, wow.
It should be bigger. It should be just bigger than just ring flash. That's why you have this big reflector.
Because you want to get all the edges out to the edge of the gemstone. And the nice thing about this is I'm showing it stationary, but with my right hand, while I'm looking through the finder, you tilt it until you get the position where you're dead centered and you have all the facets highlighted you want. And you do
wow, that's brilliant, man. That really is.
Yeah, it's great.
So using this method, you don't have to wiggle.
Pardon?
Using this method, do you need to wiggle the light at all?
No. When you're doing this, the light is already, it's a diffuse light hitting this thing, and you're just throwing back a big white card that's very white. And I don't have to wiggle it. What I normally do is I normally get it, gemstones, if you're cutting a well-cut stone, it takes me longer to place the stone to get the picture than it does to light it. Because you really need to look down the exact pivot point right in the bottom of the stone. And this, by the way, this only works on round and square stones. If you're doing rectangular stones, you don't light them this way because they won't give a light return. They're not designed to do it. Round and square or cushion cuts, which are kind of octagon sort of things, evenly spaced stones, or more or less even symmetry, they're the ones that are designed to give you back, like these square stones in this watch, they'll give you back a good sparkle. But if they're elongated stones, then you have to highlight a facet, you have to highlight the table facet itself. Otherwise, you won't get anything back out of them.
Okay, Ron, I think we need to move. Sorry.
Go. I'm done.
It was great. Thank you. Yeah. And you see, here it's a little bit tricky because if you want to shoot it in one shot but still have that kind of background with deep shadows, it will be really tricky to get all those highlights on the stones without highlighting the ground that much, so it will lose all those shadows. So probably maybe 2 shots. And it's very good. The technique to use like separate shots for the subject and for stones, gemstones, which is in it. It sometimes can save a lot of time just doing this because it gives better result. Okay, let's do next. This one from Michael Lickman. Lickman, yeah. Oh yeah, here it is. I was reading. Well, nice concept. I like. First I said, oh, is it like Dave's kind of thing? But now I see it's just cigars. So it's pretty nice composition. It looks interesting. The only thing for composition, I would kind of those cutters for cigars, that knife or how you call it, that guillotine, or it's probably a little bit should be moved somewhere, maybe other corner, or I don't know, because it's kind of hitting watch almost, because the main subject here is our watch, right? So it should be all attention go there. The light in itself, it's nice, but again, the watch, it's a little bit, you see, it should be either Photoshop work or maybe a little bit more reflection tuning to get those reflections to be in parallel, more symmetries, and that kind of stuff for the watch body. And watch face, I think I don't see details. I don't know why. It looks like details all around on the cigars everywhere except the watch face. So I don't know what's happened there. Maybe just out of focusing, or well, something happened not right.
Yeah, and the light in the background has to be subdued. Those bright wood tones in the background and the glass, they need to go, because my eye goes directly to that. I agree with you, Alex. The detail in the face needs to be brought up. The light in the face needs to be brought up a little bit, even though I really love those red tones that he's got going in there. But that light sort of yellow-red in the background has to go, because your eye directly goes to it. And yeah, the cigarette cutter, or the cigar cutter, needs to be moved to the left a little bit, sort of out of the way of the watch. Really cool idea when you get down to it, though. I mean, look at the debauchery we're talking about here. We've got these wonderful cigars, this glass of wine, and this watch. So, you know, you're sort of tying all the elements of sort of like sexy into this picture. It just needs to be lit a little bit better, that's all.
Yep. Okay. Next one from Peter Dudek. It's funny, when I was start looking at the shots, looks like we not only, so some of photographers not only did like a shot for the advertisement, they did the whole thing for whole art.
You know, they put the type in and everything.
Everything,
awesome.
like, yeah. And this one of them, great concept, and I think great realization, except maybe a little bit glow around the watch. Yeah, I like the picture a lot. For the watch itself, I think it's a little bit too bright.
Yeah.
It losing details, and especially watch face, it should be. You see, I think when you get reflections from the glass, it start losing contrast. That's where it start. So it should be either brought back in Photoshop with curves, with levels or whatever, or maybe just different position so it won't reflect anything. Or I'm not sure if it was reflected or not. But I see it's a little bit too bright. And same for the watch. It's looks like it's glossy, kind of nickel bracelet, but it's hard to tell because there is no shadows almost. We need to have somewhere gradient, some kind of shadows to give it the idea. Is it reflective or just almost like a white matte? I mean, so.
What I think would look really cool with this, if that watch, now the watch right now is like this, right? If that watch was sort of at this kind of an angle in it, sort of diagonaling through it, it would probably give, I'm a huge diagonal fan. I love them. I think they break up images so well and really bring the eye right to the subject. I agree, this is too hot. You know, some highlight recovery would probably save that watch perfectly. But if that were just running from, you know, right to left, it would just look really wonderful. Like the whole concept of it, I love the type in it, even though the type under the Timex is sort of gone. If you're going to put type in it, make it legible. But I think a diagonal would work beautifully because you've got the diver going this way. If the watch was going this way, it would just work perfectly.
Yeah, and you know, even I agree, the diagonal would be great. But even if you leave it as it is, I would lower camera so it will be more like you know, straight shot.
Oh, okay.
I don't like to see that bracelet on top. We don't need to see it. It's no reason to see the other side. So that's probably the only thing. But great shot, Peter. Okay, it's a little bit small, but that's what I have. That's what was uploaded. Hard to see all the details, but good concept, good realization. I mean, the smoke and everything looks pretty good. I see, well, if I go really close, maybe a little bit with reflectors, just slightly, but it's good, it's good. I see it's almost symmetrical lighting, symmetrical shadows and highlights. Well, I need to see it closer, really. Guys, upload bigger pictures because it's it looks fine on the thumbnail side, but if you open it in full screen, I'm pretty sure I can tell a little bit more about this. But like this, I like it. Dave, what do you think?
Smoke is a pain in the butt to shoot. I did a series of smoke shots, and it took me about a year to learn how to shoot it correctly. Bill, I wish Bill were here right now because he shot some great freaking smoke shots. It's not easy, you know. It's this lumbering, moving thing that you think would be easy to capture, but it's just not. I've got one shot. I forget what it's called. The one that got away or something like that, with a hand with a bunch of smoke coming through the fingers. I must have labored over that shot for 8 days, 9 days, maybe 2 weeks to get what I wanted out of it. And then to stop the smoke. Smoke is a fast-moving object. You really have to stop that crap down. Like Alex, I'd like to see this bigger, but because I can't really see what it is. It's a great idea. Maybe a little bit too centered. Maybe the face isn't brought out enough, but without more detail, I can't really tell you. Keep trying, though. Shooting smoke is a pain in the butt, but when you finally learn how to get it, it's great.
Yep. Let's go to the next one. Ken Holy, right?
Hoyle. Yeah.
Hoyle.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, I think similar, not a problem, but little issue here. The face and the watch itself is too bright. I love the bracelet. I really like those. You see how highlights and shadows on those chains. I really like it. That's probably the best part of it. The watch itself looks really good, but again, it's too bright. It should be dimmed down somehow. And same with glass. It looks made. It's almost like it was made glass. We need to have transparent glass, either in Photoshop or we need to work out with. Maybe it was shot with cone. I don't know, but looks like we got a reflection from the diffuser or reflector, what it was on the glass. What else? Yeah, I would probably add a little bit more somewhere highlights and dark areas on the watch body itself. But yeah, other than this, it's not an advertisement shot. Let's say it's just like a catalog shot, but it's pretty good. Dave, what do you think?
Probably rotate it a little bit to get the face more into the face of the viewer. I actually like the lighting on the watch a lot. Might just be the calibration of the monitor I have right now. I would get rid of all that blue crap in the background. I just think it takes away from it. A stark black background probably would have worked with this. But what I like, once again, it's the little things for me. I love bezel light. I like that from 9 o'clock until maybe, 4 o'clock, there's this dark sort of reflection in it. And then in the other areas, there's this tonality that's sort of smooth through it, that sort of frames the watch face a little bit. Yeah, maybe the brightness can be brought down a little bit, but just in the band. I actually think the face could be a little bit brighter to sort of bring the face out, because when I think of watch shots, I always think of the face. Bands
Maybe
are
more
cool.
contrast, right?
Pardon me?
Maybe more contrast because.
Yeah, absolutely. But a cool shot. I think it needs a little bit different angle from where it is, and all those little blue flecks in the background. If you're not going to show, you know, a couple pictures ago we had that stone shot with that wonderful red sort of background. Yeah, it had the fabric texture in it, but it still showed you sort of a flowing, undulating movement. If you're not going to do that and you're just going to have this little blue stuff in there, get rid of it. It just takes away from it.
Wow, we have so much. Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, let's ram through them. I'm sorry,
yeah,
I'm having
really because no, it's not you. It's just I think at maybe next time we'll just sit with you a little bit earlier, like a day or so, and we'll just select.
Yeah, maybe
some
10 or 15 to go through, something like that.
Yeah, because. Okay, this one it will be pretty fast. It's hard to see watch basically. It's too small. We need to crop it, and we need to get closer to our subject. Too many water all around, all those drops kind of distracting. Well, if you get closer, it will be more visible what should be done with lighting, but that's basically it. Composition should be worked out, and we don't need to see that much of the water flying between us and watch. Dave, what you?
Yeah, look at the rest of the pictures up here, really, and look at this, and you can't, it just doesn't work. There's I'd love to say there's some redeeming quality to this, but there isn't.
Yeah. My first thought was, somebody forgot watch on the beach, Really, but yeah, it's funny. Okay, Jerry, your watch. Well, it's good. It's good shot. I don't think from lighting standpoint, I could suggest anything because it looks great. Maybe Dave probably will talk about this. Maybe framing a little bit different, but I really like that metal clips, or how you call it, that thing which on top of the image.
Buckle.
This highlights buckle.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. I'm learning every time. Yeah, I like it. I like it. Maybe not advertising type of shot, but a pretty good catalog type shot.
Yeah, like the face, don't like the comp at all. It's sort of, I like the buckle, but that's where my eye is going. So probably needs to be removed from it. Bring the face more up to the center of the frame. And, if we're talking about advertising, the face of the watch is what sells the watch.
Yeah. And, if it's just a face, if you shoot it straight and top to the bottom, it's less advertisement. It's more like just catalog shot. If it should be something maybe different, little bit angle. But
and who knows, if there was more type all around that shot, explaining what the watch is, it might work pretty well. But I'd still like to see the face of the watch a little bit more in the center. That's all.
Okay.
So basically more as well.
Sorry. Boy, go back to it, Alex. There you go. My eye, when I look at this, even though I've got this wonderful blue face, my eye goes right to that buckle. Now, maybe if you just tone down the buckle a bit, maybe just put a layer in and put it at 15% gray and set it to darken, it would have just taken away from those wonderful highlights in it, and my eye would go down to the face. In advertising, this might work. I'm not a great commercial guy. I'll be the first one to admit it, because there's these wonderful black areas to put all this type in, explaining the watch and everything, but my eye goes to the buckle. So removing those highlights a little bit might help it a bit. The face is beautiful, though. It really is, man.
Okay, this one from Aaron. I think it's great kind of advertisement shot with a story, with with almost with everything. I would love to see on the edge shot. And the only thing, I don't know what kind of watch is that, but probably again it should be some text all around, so the potential buyer is supposed to like it. But usually, it's kind of more like a story shot because we don't see much of the product. From the lighting standpoint, looks cool for me. We have shadows, but it works great for the whole composition. I can say that, you need to highlight watch differently because it simply won't work at this shot. So as is, I like it. Dave, what do you think?
Great shot. Love it. Absolutely love it. The highlights in the hand, or the quarter tones, half tones, need to be moved down in the skin, and this needs to be sharper. I can't even make out what that watch is, but I love the fob. I love the chain going around, wrapping around the hand. The thumb is about as bright, maybe a little bit less than the face, but needs to be darker so the focus goes to the face, and get it sharper. I need to know what kind of watch it is. But I love this shot. I really do.
Okay. Mike, your shot. Pretty cool shot. Mike, Can I ask you what's on top of this? Is it like a bubble or just some piece of?
I was wondering the same damn thing.
The bubble couldn't be this way. It's underwater, so what's the bubble?
Is that an LED?
Oh, you talking
Might
about
be
the black bubble there?
Oh no, not the black. Directly on top of that watch.
Yeah.
What is
Oh,
it?
it's
Is it LED?
actually I have it right here. It's an LED.
Oh, okay, right.
It's a flashlight.
Awesome.
Okay, because I was kind of, what is that? Well, cool shot.
And the black button above the dial is what activates it.
Oh, I see. So it's button in this.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know what to add from lighting standpoint. Maybe a little bit play with, well, like lights from the background. Maybe it will add some edge on that left side. But again, I think it looks cool like this. It's hard, it's hard for me to judge anything. It's a bit not sharp for me, but again, it has nothing to do with lighting.
The only thing I'd add to it is maybe desaturating it a little bit. Those oranges are just way too much, and it's sort of giving like a posterized effect. And the background needs to be blurred because it's a little bit blotchy. You sort of tone down those two things. This is a really cool shot, man. Good job.
Can I add one comment?
Sure.
Yeah, I had fun with some things.
Mike, it looks like, I mean, I saw the setup, of course, and it looks very bottom lit, which is very cool. But I think because most of the lighting is coming from the bottom of the watch, the top of your setup, the LED wasn't quite lit in a way that you could tell what it was. And so I guess maybe throwing one little light on the bottom of the setup might give an extra reflection to kind of give that LED a little more dimension.
Right, so maybe somewhere from behind, right? A little bit from behind on the, so it will. Tim, what? I was
gonna say, what if you had another shot with the LED on, and then use Photoshop to mask that in, to show like a burst. I think that would look kind of cool too.
Yeah, maybe.
You'd have to like strap the button to hold the light on.
I tried that. It didn't look well.
Oh.
Okay, let's go. Time. Wrong. It's great. It's great shot. It's hard to add anything to like technique, how it was lit. I think it's great. The only thing I have problem with, not problem, but I can tell about the reflection. It doesn't. I remember it was not real reflection. You did 2 shots, but first it's well, it's like a floating on some surface. Which is maybe fine, but if it's floating on that distance, probably like almost an inch or so, the reflection should be more blurred because we have so much focus on this, so reflection should be blurred much more for my taste.
Actually, I took it down some, and I actually ended up putting a texture on it instead of blurring it.
Yeah, I see some texture. It's like almost like some frosty,
Yeah, it was exactly what it was in Photoshop. Was frosted glass.
All right.
And there was one other problem with it that I knew of. Because it was an upside down version of the watch, I should have actually reversed the gear mechanism on inside the reflection. It should have been pointed. The diagonal should have gone the other direction.
Right.
Yeah, but unless you're a watchmaker, you'd never know that.
That's right. That's what I figured.
This is really good. The only thing I'd suggest is making this thing hard in a landscape mode. Give us some room left and right. Show us some of the band going left and right instead of just this square stuff. I think the darkness on the left and right would add to it just a whole bunch. I think the Photoshop work in this is great. Like I said, you have to be a watchmaker to know that the gears are going the wrong way. Like Alex said, maybe a little bit more blur, but give me a little bit of blur on that reflection and some left and right movement. I think the lighting is brilliant in this. There's nothing blown out. There's all this detail in the face that I love. There's these great warm tones. with a little bit of blue sticking through here and there. Really great shot.
Yes,
Really
lighting
great.
is
That is an awesome watch too.
Actually,
Yeah,
well,
yeah, absolutely.
$29 from Amazon.
Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I should have watched this like $8,000, and you make this thing look better than mine. Thanks, Ron.
Well, I just wanted something. I had this idea up front, and I figured it was going to be a quick one-shot thing with a mirror. And after about 3 hours of the mirror and loss of a lot of hair on top of my head, I said, no, this isn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
And the problem I had was what was mentioned earlier, double reflections.
Yeah, absolutely. Just a killer.
Just a question, Ron. Are you editing with a Wacom pad or with a mouse?
No, mouse.
Okay, I thought so. Just, some of the curves get a little bit smudgy in some areas, and it sort of gives away a little bit of Photoshop work. But other than that, it's awesome.
Okay, excellent shot, Ron. Yeah, let's go to this one. That's again the guy did everything, not only shot but the whole like a poster. Well, I like the watch, but I don't like the left part of the image.
Not for nothing. A
kid is
kid
great.
wearing Omega.
I don't have anything wrong with kid, but it just kind of.
You know what?
$5,000 watch on it.
Yeah.
It's just brutal, man.
Who's the target market?
Yeah, exactly. All kids going into first grade should be wearing an Omega.
The right-hand side says young right on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool,
I love this. I really, there are a lot of things that you could probably complain about this, but being a watch guy like I am, I just laughed my ass off when I saw this shot.
Yeah. It's probably young, cool, smart, and rich. Then.
Yeah, very rich. Absolutely.
Yeah, so good shot. The lighting is good. Talking about like a little bit darker. I mean, I think it's not. It's good as is. I don't know. Maybe what I would do, contrast. Maybe a little bit more contrast on the watch face. It's the only area where it's kind of too grayish. We need to pop it up. The rest
and I like the angle and how it's filling the frame. If the rest of the frame from the left side was black, this might be a cool shot. But no, I can't grab onto a 9-year-old wearing this watch. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay, next one. This is a very good one. I like it.
Yeah, me too.
Boris Motisevich. Oh, well, I better just say Boris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great shot. Only things with reflection a little bit, right? We see this greenish reflection on the bezel, on the top left part, which just maybe Photoshop. Same thing on the bottom. It's a little bit too dark for me, even though it kind of look good, but I would love to see maybe a little bit more of the bracelet at bottom, and for sure a little bit more light there. Same for the watch face. It's too dark. It's a little bit too dark here, and we need to make sure the watch a little bit pop a little bit more. I don't know what's a piece of wood or something. Looks pretty cool. What else? Oh, other than that, like I said, fix the reflection, maybe in Photoshop, maybe in real life, a little bit, maybe from the bottom, and face. Bring up the face, and it will be cool, killer shot. Well, it's a great shot anyway. It's a very good shot. Dave, what do you think? Or guys?
The light on the left side needs to go to the watch. My eye goes right to whatever that is, a piece of wood, a piece of stone, I don't know what it is. Those lovely green, warm tones in there just drag my eye in. So they need to be darker, and the focus needs to go to the watch. Brighten the face a bit, brighten the bottom of the watch a ton to sort of match the top. I don't mind the color being in there on the left, but it just can't overpower the watch, which it sort of is right now. But cool shot. I like the way it's set up. I like the horizontal of the thing, whatever it is, and then the diagonal of the watch. Cool stuff.
Oh, still waiting for Spot to join hangout. So if somebody can leave spot for Steve Savoy, no, he's waiting. I just got his message. Anyway, yeah. Oh, by the way, about this watch.
I'll go.
Okay, thank you, Jerry. Well,
Thank
Steve.
you, Jerry.
That's right. See you. Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, let's talk tomorrow. Yeah, I'll be online, hopefully around 12:30 p.m. One more thing I could add. It may look cool if that piece of wood or whatever will go on the right side as well. You know, like almost like a hand. So maybe just a thought. Again, much darker. Okay, Dave, I don't know. You want to talk about this, or you want another one? Oh, let's talk about this. I like it a lot, and I've seen it first time as usually. Wow, Dave again comes with a very cool shot.
Yeah.
The only thing, it's not about shot. Lighting is great for the shot itself. I mean, for the watch, but I don't like the that piece of the hand where it's kind of start, you know, wiggling.
Yeah, I didn't like this shot when I shot it, to be honest with you. I thought, you know, I've done so much Photoshop work in this thing. I don't know if any of you noticed, but the actual frame of the watch from left to right is mirrored because I didn't like the light on the right side of the frame. So I took the left side, mirrored it, and copied it over to the right, and then removed the freaking face and everything.
Wow.
Everything that I am so against in my photography, I did on this shot. My Photoshop work, honestly, it sucks. If you saw this at real size, you'd cringe from the crap you'd see in this. I like that hand. I love that it's glass, but it just didn't work here. That's why I shot the second shot, because I really couldn't stand this. And even in the second shot, I stole the face from this shot to put into it. So, God bless.
I see. Did you try to crop it? Maybe a little bit more closer and, you know...
No, you know, I was just... I don't know how to say it. I'm just not a commercial photographer. I'm not. I'm not comfortable in that realm. If I'm not showing a thought going on in my head or a feeling that I have, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. My hat goes off to any commercial shooter out there because it's just so far beyond what I can do and stay in tune with and be happy with. So yeah, I could have cropped this galore and done anything with it and sent it to Xenia and let her do whatever her magic is. But I don't think the honesty would have come through in it. I'm sort of happy with the watch itself, but everything else is sort of bunk.
Yeah, that's nice. Come on. Let's do. Yeah, I was trying to chat a little bit. Okay, next one, Steve. Yeah, he's looks
God,
like he...
how many more do we have, Alex?
How more? Let's see. Well,
Good God
1, 2,
Almighty.
3, 4. 4 of them. I don't know. Let's just leave it. I don't know.
Would you mind?
Reflectors. Yeah. So I mean, are we fine going more than like this, or we can just continue in 4?
Oh, go on. Let's plow through them.
Okay.
Screw it.
Yeah,
Alex, it doesn't.
we'll organize it better next time. No, I think he's offline. Steve, he's now offline, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're there, Steve? Where are you?
Steve, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're right there.
Oh, I see your
you.
flight.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
Oh man,
Sorry
I
about
see
that.
on the iChat. Sorry, it was. I see on the iChat. You were saying that it was okay.
Hey, Alex.
So yes.
I actually, when you just scrolled through them there, I didn't actually see mine. I was wondering if you received it.
Yeah, I think. Well, it was a problem with your because it's you didn't submit the image, right? You got
Right.
URL, and now it's blank. It was all blanks, but I think I was copied here. No, I remember I was. Let me check just a moment. Because I went to your.
Should look like that.
Yes. Yeah. Just a moment. I grabbed it from your G+, I think.
Sorry for holding stuff up.
No, it's fine. I'm going to pull it up if I... you know, let's share it and talk about it right now. Can you share, Tim?
Yeah, there it is.
Okay, and I'll just put it like this, so it will be instead of that watch. It's pretty cool there. I like the lighting. It gives us pretty good idea that it's highly reflective. It's glossy stuff, right? I don't like the back. I don't know why you choose that angle. So it's watch going like face down almost, right? I would probably flip it so it'll go face up, and I don't. Unless it was like a client saying, you know, we have to see that mechanism on the bracelet. Unless it was specifically thought like this, I would probably hide the bracelet inside, you know, so we'll see more face. You got the shots on your profile, same watch with the like facing us, right?
Yeah, I have
so
the same.
Like, I guess it was one of combinations, but the lighting is pretty cool. I don't know how you did. You see this like a zebra-like thing on the bezel? Was it done intentionally, or it was just some pieces of like soft boxes and then dark areas between them?
The which part?
On the bottom, on the bezel, you see it's like black and white goes down, yeah, right here.
Down here?
Yeah.
Oh, this is probably just what happened when I put my foam core boards in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just black thing. Yeah. So instead, I would kind of. I mean, it looks not bad. It's not like very bad, but I would probably, instead of just pieces of foam core, get this translucent plastic. And what is good, you can kind of unwrap it, almost wrap, let's say, your camera with yourself is all in front of it.
Okay,
and dig a hole in that plastic, stick your lens in it, and then you can highlight and make nice gradient instead of those zebra thing, you know. But,
okay.
Yeah. So, Dave, do you have any?
The only thing I could add is probably the part of the 9, the 10, 11, 12. Bring up the contrast in it. You know, bring them darker to sort of match the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. To make the face pop. There's also a strange highlight, sort of to the right of the watch that I'm seeing. Maybe a reflection. Hold on a second. I got Alex right now. Okay. I'm not seeing the picture right now, Alex.
Oh, you know, I clicked on. So you see me. Well, okay. Let's do this. If you see not, it's actually on Teams. If you click, you will bring it.
No, I'm on you, and it's got an orange.
Dave, click on the far right one.
Okay, I'm gonna let me bring this one. I can share. I got it. Here it is. How I close this thing? Okay, here it is.
Dave, if you click on mine.
Okay, I was seeing a different picture.
So
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. So I'm looking now at a chrome watch with an orange face, correct?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I don't know. The angle of this is sort of strange. My eyes are just drawn to the bracelet, not to the face whatsoever. I think a different angle is needed here. What I like, though, is how it's sort of like floating in there. Not quite sure how that was done. With me, it would be fishing line probably and cropped out.
That's what I use.
Oh, okay, good deal. But I would try to bring that face out more.
You know, I did that because it was a silly concept maybe, but the concept was to have the reflection of the face kind of the first thing that, I mean, the face being the first thing that's reflected. And also I wanted to show kind of the inside of the bracelet. And, you know, I wasn't really, I guess, focusing on the face of the watch itself, which maybe I should have a little more, but...
well, you know, the picture that Alex just had up, the portrait version with just the watch...
Yeah.
That one right there. If you would have cropped into that a whole shitload, and just giving me the face with that band, because the lighting on that band right there is freaking off the hook. You've got these wonderful dark and light tones and this weird sort of pattern going on. If I would have gotten a crop in of that, that would be rocking, man. That really would.
Yeah, I could have sent that one in. I thought about it too, but I wanted to shoot something specifically for the for the hangout here. So.
Yeah, well, you know, I think the secondary shot is better. I love that tonality in the band. I really do. That's really cool stuff, man. You know, when you get that much contrast from light to dark, and then the wonderful patterns that chrome throws when you hit it with light correctly, you know, these smooth curves and everything, that really rocked. I really dug that.
Yeah. Okay, Steve. Let's see. Well, it's clearly visible that that watch is just laying on the table or whatever, and well, it's not good for the kind of advertisement or product shot. It should be like you've seen, right? Hang it on the fishing lines or somehow, you know.
Well,
oh, really? But you see, it's
well,
those
actually,
bands on the bracelet.
Actually, it was hanging in the air.
At least for me, it gives that impression that it was just, you know, laying on the table. So make sure that it creates like an arc, you know. And to do this, I stick inside the watch of this bracelet something which will form like almost like an arc or full circle, and then I hang it with fishing wires. So it won't do this, you know, that crazy angles. Right. It
yeah, because I have the watch stretched across.
For the lighting, it's good. The only, you see, it's kind of not uniform. I didn't remember what was setup was used, but I see this black reflection on the bezel, on like top part of the watch, right? And it's I think it's not. Yeah, it's almost look like a paint there. I mean, something like element of the watch, but it is not. It's a reflection, and it shouldn't be that black. If we could have something there just darker, which is fine. Like, for example, if you look at almost like 2 p.m. or whatever, on the bezel, you see where it's created this nice gradient from black to brighter. It's very cool piece. If you can just do the same for like everything, that kind of areas where you have gradients, it will fix the bezel. And the same for bracelets. We have this 2 dots, that's like black lines on the chain on the left and on the right. Again, it should be kind of the same pattern. If well, it all comes from the shape. If you would have bracelet on the arc, like it will probably fix the issue. Yeah, and I'm not sure about background, but again, I kind of not talking about background here. It's more about lighting for the watch. Dave, what do you think?
Yeah, for me, all it really needs is a little bit more light on the face, and maybe the bracelets need to be darkened a little bit. But that's about it for me.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's jump. Yeah. Thank you, Steve. Giorgio. Well, Giorgio. Pretty good. Pretty good, really. It's a little bit brighter for me, but again, maybe it's my monitor. I just maybe need to dial it down a little bit. Maybe a little bit more contrast on the face, but overall, I really like it. Really, really like it. The lighting is great. We see all this little bit of, well, I see a little bit of kind of, if you look at the top where the bracelet, the portion bracelet connects, it's I would say like this. The half of the watch has that kind of rim all around, little black tiny line, and one piece it's not there. Which it's not a big deal, but again, maybe it should be somehow fixed, or it should be all the same all around, the same black line. But overall, it's very good shot. So Dave, what
You know, I'm sorry. This was up earlier when I was commenting on another image. Probably not this one. This is the one that I said that the 10, 11, 12 should be brought up a little bit in darkness to sort of match the other numbers. And then if you see to the right, there's this weird highlight in the background.
It's almost like a reflection from something.
Yeah, that has to go. I'm sorry. What I'm seeing is what I'm seeing. So I like this image a lot, but I just think if the contrast in the top half of the watch face was brought up to match the bottom half, it would rock.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and contrast on the face, right? Because it's definitely...
Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I was seeing a different image. That's weird.
That's fine. Okay, this one, how the whiskers, I know. Well, it's the same issue with most of the gemstones on the watch. They too dark. All the watch, I know this ceramic, it's white, and it's not visible that it's white. It's a little bit bluish here, and I'm sure it should be white. So brightness plus color balance, and plus we need to bring back all those gemstones around. They just looks like something really dark, but they're shiny. They should be really shiny. That's it in short. Dave, what do you think?
The harsh edge around the edge of the watch, if you can see in the bottom half of the frame, it's just obvious that the background was put in, or a secondary shot. The background should never be brighter than the watch face. It just shouldn't. My eyes go all around this thing except to the face. I like those bluish tones in the watch itself, but it just looks a little bit too fake to me. And if you're going to do something like that, select the face, pop up the brightness, pop up the contrast, and let it stick out. So.
Yep. Yeah, the only thing should be really done in terms of lighting is for the gemstones. The rest should be done in Photoshop. For those, it should be if Photoshop, it's all handmade. You know, like it's crazy work. It's better to shoot it one more shot with cone or something. Okay, let's go to the next one. Well, it's pretty cool concept, but why framed like this? I have no idea why we have all these black areas. I would just turn camera horizontally and get closer to the watch, because I like the reflection, even though I'm not sure how it's possible to see a reflection this way, but it's maybe fine. I don't know. Maybe it's really, maybe it's not. It looks cool. A little bit more contrast again because of the lot of light on the watch. The bezel, the frame looks cool, but the face is should be more contrast. It's just a little bit Photoshop, and that's it. So framing, contrast, and should be good shot. I mean, it's good, but improved. Dave, what do you say?
Make it landscape, crop out some of the negative space, and sharpen the crap out of it. Yeah. I mean, you know, it needs a lot more sharpness in there. I want that face to pop. And also, what kind of a watch is this? I don't see a name. I don't
looks
see.
Like there is no name.
No, there's nothing.
There is no name. Is it possible? Or I don't know.
No, it might be possible. It might be on the side of the watch. Who knows? But if it is, put it in somewhere. Grab their logo and shove it in. It got to be there. Just even if it isn't realistic, you have to know who makes this watch, because it's a really cool watch, and I wouldn't mind having it. But I would definitely remove some of the negative space, top and bottom.
Right. Excellent. Okay, Anthony, I don't know. I think you was among the first who submitted, but you got the last. I don't know. Same thing here. It's too. The background is too bright, and the watch is too dark. So much more brightness should be brought onto the watch. Plus, well, it probably will fix the issue with gemstones. They should be shiny. They should be really, really shiny on that watch because they shouldn't look like a plastic pieces, you know. Well, and probably, I don't know, I never like to see the whole piece with bracelet and that inside stuff. But again, it may be good for that kind of shot if it's needed, let's say, per client or art director, whoever.
Yeah, I was trying to show the open windows, but...
yeah, but it's unbalanced. It's clearly unbalanced. The very bright blue background and kind of dimmed the watch. That's probably the biggest problem. The rest is pretty good. Dave, what do you think?
The only thing I could suggest in this, yeah, I'm not crazy about the comp. Go out and buy the biggest fake diamond you can find. Stick it in a frame and start hammering light at it from every angle you can. Do it with white backgrounds, black backgrounds, colored backgrounds. Do everything you can to try to figure out how to light those things. I'm still not great at it. Alex is infinitely better than I am. But I've spent hours and hours trying to figure out how to get a great-looking facet without having to Photoshop the crap out of it. My goal is always to get a picture in camera. And I figure if you can figure out how to get it in camera, if you're going to resort to then Photoshop to get it, you're going to do amazingly. I think this would have really, really just been great if those gems would have sort of shown a little bit more, would have popped a lot. It would have taken away from the sort of weirdness I see from the background to the bracelet itself. So, like anything, like Ron can probably attest to, all this is just figuring out how to do it right. Alex has taught me a lot in this stuff. Figuring out how to make gemstones work is the biggest problem we probably all run into with this kind of crap. So, practice, 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 practice.
Alrighty. It's gonna blow up soon, so.
I've got people telling me Homeland Security is going to be calling me.
Yeah, that's.
Guys, there you go.
Wow.
If this is just a prop that I bought on eBay, if you go into eBay and search for movie props or anything else, you get this kind of stuff, and that's where I find all of them. You know,
it has snows and light on the button. It's pretty cool to have it.
This was shot on my Manfrotto stage with the white plexi. I had one bright spot with a 20-degree grid underneath it, and a whole bunch of other lights all around it. But, Ron, I gotta tell you, man, this is for you, buddy. Hold on a second. This is what I use for the watch.
Oh.
Yes, it's a cone, and yeah, it's black foam core with a paper towel barrel in it. And on the end of it, I had toilet paper. I don't have it right now, but it was there. And this was used to point at the watch. This is all. There were a whole bunch of other lights to get the dynamite and everything else. But this, I would have never created this if it wasn't for all you guys. It would have never happened. And the way it came was, I'm sitting here saying, I need a spot for that watch. What the hell do I do? But a few days ago, I was shooting a whole bunch of liquid crap, and I had paper towels all around. And that paper towel barrel was laying on the floor. So I said, cut a hole in it, and sort of, just shove it through. So, but that's really what the light was on that watch. Probably not the greatest shot. I'll be the first one to admit to all you guys, I am not a commercial shooter. It was never my goal. You guys, a lot of you have me crushed in this sense. My whole idea is always to put emotion into an image, and where I'm coming from and where I think. You know, I just thought when accuracy matters was just the greatest catchphrase for a shot like this. And I've got, you know, Alex, I'm sure you'll admit, when you posted it, there were a couple people who said, you know, why are you doing this? Or you shouldn't be doing this. And I've gotten some emails about this saying, like, I'm supporting terrorism or some crap like that.
Yeah.
I gave you a hard time about it, but I was just teasing you.
And I know that, Ron. But there were some people who were serious about this stuff. I shot one picture once. I don't know if any of you saw it. It's not one of my most popular pieces. It's a prop hand with a hole drilled through it and a wine glass through it, and there's wine in it, and there's this like green blood flowing through it, and then this red blood, and it's called Stigmata, which was my shot against the Catholic Church. I can't tell you how much crap I've caught about that picture. It was being shown in a gallery in Germany, for which the Catholic Church came out and just freaking screamed about. My goal is always to make people think. Whether it's studio wonderful or whatever, that's never been what I'm all about. It's what's the thought, what's going to make you think when you look at it, what are you going to say? If an image like you're seeing right now doesn't elicit a response from you, good God Almighty, go to a shrink. That's all I got to say. But this was a fun picture. Like I said, the face of this one is pulled from the other one I shot. I just couldn't. I didn't have the time and didn't want to get into it. And I'm not a great Photoshop guy. So if you were to look close at this, you'd say, "Wow, Dave, that really sucks." But I thought it was pretty cool. I think Bill wanted to have a few words with me about the composition on this. But it is what it is. I had fun shooting it.
No, that's a great shot. I think it's a great shot, Dave. It's all about emotion, like you said. Tim?
Yeah, one of my favorite things about the shot, I don't know if it was intentional or what, you called it when accuracy counts, and the time on the watch face doesn't match with the time on the clock face, and the dates don't match. That was hilarious. I thought it was awesome.
Well, it was absolutely intentional. Just like
it's 1 minute, right? It's 1 minute difference, right? It's
actually
sorry, 9 minutes. Yeah, 9
about
minutes.
9 minutes, and I don't know how many days. 15 days. Yeah, you know that my pictures rely on this stuff, man. It's not about the technical perfection or anything. It's the sort of weird stuff that goes on within it. It's all about the thought, man. It's got to be about the thought. You know, we can all sit here and take pictures of watches, but the thing is that's going to grab people's attention. In my world, which is the gallery, museum, whatever world, or in a lot of other people's worlds, the commercial world, you've got to grab people's attention. That's all there is to it. So we can all, I could sit here and shoot great pictures of watches all day long. Alex could, Ron could, Noah could, we all could. How are we going to make that so that the people looking at it are going to grab onto it and attach to it? And that's what we've got to get. There's got to be an emotional attachment to that image. Now you look at this picture, and yeah, you know, well, I've got dynamite. Okay, that makes it sort of simple. But how do you just take a watch and make it to the point where people look back and say, holy crap, I want that watch? Right. And that's what it's all about. You know, what do you do to not offend but also grasp. Now, me personally, I don't care about offending. I offended a whole bunch of people with this picture and a whole bunch of other stuff that I shot. But in a traditional commercial world, how do you do it without pushing people away? And that's really the question. I'm not perfect for that. Alex is a wonderful combination of what I do and what a commercial guy does. You know, the Godiva chocolate shot, I will always go back to that picture. That is just this wonderful, sexy, beautiful picture. And it's this great combination between photographer, Alex, and editor, Virginia, that brought this wonderful picture together that I just sit back and go, holy shit, I wish I could do that.
Thank you, Dave, but you know, I need to learn still from you a lot, because you only the guy who kind of brought this word to me. You see, I'm more technical, and even look at my watch. I still need to learn a lot how to bring emotion, how to tell story with just a product shot. It's very hard task, but man.
Yeah, and the wild thing is, I have trouble with the product shot, but I have no trouble whatsoever telling everybody what I feel.
Yeah, so for me it's opposite. But
Dave?
Yeah, you know, I'm just lucky enough to have found a whole bunch of people that sort of that can sort of get past my technical flaws and just sort of dig into what I'm trying to say. Like, look at this. Honestly, Alex, I really liked it more rotated 90.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah, I thought that was when I saw that.
It's a big issue. Yeah, it's. I have them with. When I noticed, well, not me. I will be honest with you. It was Zhenya who came and said, "Why are you shooting them upside down?" So, and I got like hundreds of shots on this position. Then I moved them other way, so they kind of diagonally but differently. So nicks on top, and I got 200 more. But you know, this one from that series, we like it better. And you know what I don't like beside the position? The lighting. Well, lighting is good, except we didn't see that inner rim of the how you call it, bezel.
Right.
It's visible outside, but inside, basically, it's like a wheel, you know, all around. But it's not visible. That's where I kind of didn't get it right. But
you know, still, I look at this picture, especially the one that you put up in our little poster for this thing. You know, rotated 90 clockwise. There was a level of beauty that I absolutely loved. I wanted to buy this watch when I saw that picture. And that's what this shit is all about. Especially in the commercial world. Do you want to look at it and buy the product? And that picture, it was great horizontal, but when I saw our poster with it rotated 90, I'm like, wow, that is just off the hook. I could read the face. I could see the colors. I just thought it was great. I really do.
Here's what I have, guys, just to show you. You see how many? It's just, I mean, I can scroll forever. It's more than 300 shots. You see all that kind of different here and go. You see now they up with Nixon.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And let me show you a little bit. Well, I don't know. We need to think. I have a video. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to ask you. So, how did you get the green of the, I guess, the LEDs or whatever it is, the numbers? Is that all part of the same shot, or did you do two shots?
No, it's just same shot as you seen on the Lightroom. It just raw data. It was raw files. It's all the same shot with. And I have a video for this. Let me talk. I don't know how guys we want to spend on this time because I cannot post it. This is how I got this shot in the watch inside the tank. I don't know. Are you familiar with this? I think I got it from B&H. It's called Grip It magnetic base. This is magnetic. I can put it anywhere, but it's really cool stuff for little jewelry, watches, and because you see those little crocodiles on the end.
Right.
You can grab it, and it's worked perfectly. I don't know. Oh, it's visible here. So it was pretty simple in terms of how I got shot. This just diffuser holder. It goes inside tank, and I got my tank. I got my wave. And, two lights behind. You see a little behind to get those edges of the watch body, and the one light was here to get a little bit of face. And if you see in the photo, the bottom of the watch was lit a little bit as well. So I got a foil on the bottom of my tank, even though it was on a black glass. It's a black glass, playable black glass. I got a foil, and one light, it's not visible, spotlight on top, spotlight to hit that foil so it will reflect back and highlight the bottom of the watch. And basically that's it. Pretty simple setup. I was just doing like this, like a crazy, and shooting. What
kind of foil? Like a piece of aluminum foil?
Yeah, just the cooking foil, you know.
Oh, and you just stuck it underneath the tank. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I use foil a lot when I need some very tiny light source, like this big, especially for jewelry. There is no way to, to stick the light in it, even with that Dave thing. It may help, but I need like 20 of them. But with foil, we can always bend it a little bit, put it where it's needed, maybe on some wax, and it will work as little tiny additional light. Yeah, here it was like big reflector.
I shot like 8 pictures.
Right?
I took like 8. I've got to step it up, man. I really got to go into the 3-digit numbers here.
I thought the 50 I took was a lot.
Well, because it was still. You remember, Dave? You told about smoke. That it's kind of fast moving. Yeah. I didn't tell anything to you, but comparing to the liquid, it's not moving at all. The smoke, because it's so fast. It's the problem. You shoot, you never can get predict what, and especially with waves. It's not even like I throw in something. At least I can throw, and I can throw a little bit different. It's just a wave. I can do anything.
Liquid is weird, man. You never know how quick that crap is moving until you try to capture it.
Yeah.
I mean, and then get all the elements right to work within the frame. I mean, it's tough. It really is.
Little trick I want to add to you guys. When I use water, it's just regular tap water, and it was not good. It was always forming little bit drops, too much drops all around. I add half a bottle of alcohol.
Yeah.
And it changed that surface tension, and it was making very smooth, smooth waves, and it kind of.
Yeah, I've done that too, and I never even thought of it because. But yeah, it changes the whole tension of the water and really makes it sort of flow a little bit slower. Because the alcohol, for some reason, well, not for some reason, chemically, it's just a little bit thicker than the water. So it gives you that sort of undulating kind of thing.
Technically, what you're doing is you're breaking the hydrogen bonding in the water.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay, whatever you say.
So, Alex, you used what? You said about a half a bottle of that size bottle?
Well, yeah, maybe it was a little bit half the bottle, but yeah, I didn't measure.
Like
yeah, it was around that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And
hey, listen, guys, I gotta break this up.
It's 2 hours already.
Wow.
It's great.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, look at your picture with these. Because your wiring on top is 3-dimensional. I thought it would be.
Yeah, it's almost like 3-dimensional. True. Yeah,
hey, listen, next week, guys, let's take a picture, something that's near and dear to Alex and I. Do a splash. I don't care what it is. Just a splash with any object, a splash using any liquid material you want. Let it be water, let it be corn syrup, let it be hand soap, Alex. Let it be whatever you want. Let the subject be whatever you want. But I want to see some liquid flying. So let's do that for next week.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Also, let's inject some emotion into this. Anybody, we can all take a picture with, liquid flying and stop it. Okay, shut down the flash duration and we're going to get stop motion. Show me something with emotion. And let me know what that emotion is. Were you trying to shoot something happy? Were you trying to shoot something sad? Were you trying to shoot something, sexy, whatever? Show me a splash and a concept and a thought that is actually a thought, that displays an emotion. Make me feel something.
Excellent. Thank you, Dave. Great assignment, guys. I am excited.
Okay, guys.
Thank you.
I gotta go here. I'm dying.
Yeah, we're all the same, I guess. Thank you, everybody. Studio Hangout, Sites, ended for today. Bye. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Cheers.
Okay, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, I will be there.
Alex, rock on,
Yeah,
man.
take care.